going to be talking about Earthwise Beauty's Tigress Balm sample that I got from Aurora Beauty. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Aurora Beauty and Earthwise Beauty, and then I'm going to talk about the product itself, and finally I'm going to give you my opinion of it. My name's Sharon, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you guys subscribe below and turn on notifications to get the latest updates. Okay, so let's get started. Aurora Beauty sells products from a variety of different brands, and they do have an option available that you can get samples. So they have a minimum of 5 samples that you need to purchase, and I believe it was $3 or $4 a piece, and I actually purchased 15 samples from them, and I have a playlist. I'm going to link to that below and above so you can check all those out. Now, the reason I purchased samples is twofold. The first reason is you need to be patch testing out these products. I know that they're natural. Natural doesn't mean safe. People can still have reactions to things in nature, such as peanuts and poison ivy. So with patch testing, you're going to be testing out your hair and skin and making sure, first of all, you don't have a reaction, but also just testing out the scent, the texture, and the color, and seeing if it works for you. Now, the second reason that I like samples is because you can try out more expensive products or luxury products that just might be out of your price range. So for example, I like the fact that I can get a little taste of luxury that I simply cannot afford right now. Now, Earthwise Beauty, I didn't really know that much about them, to be honest. I had never heard of them before, and they came up on the Aurora Beauty website when I was looking for eczema. Now, this particular product is known for acne, but with that being said, I have a daughter who has eczema, and I know it is caused by the environment. We do have just environmental causes such as mold and pollen that cause her to create eczema, and I was kind of desperate to find anything that was going to work for her, even if it meant purchasing somewhat expensive samples. So I did get this from them. Now I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about Earthwise Beauty. So what they have, it's owned by a woman called Ava, and she's originally from Poland. So she came to the US in 1996, but when she was in Poland, she kind of dabbled in, DIY, your skincare and hair care and things like that. She liked the fact that she can make it herself. She also started studying nutrition and herbs, homeopathy, aromatherapy, and things like that. And she did mention how aromatherapy got to be very expensive. And of course, you're wanting to purchase all these things for yourself, and they do have a shelf life. Even though the MLMs will say that they last forever, they don't. They do expire just like most natural things do. She also started to get requests from coworkers. Like, she said she would go to work and her hair would kind of be all oily because she'd do a hot oil treatment or something like that. Despite the fact that she kind of looked like that, her coworkers were starting to see how her skin was changing and begged her to create these potions and serums for them. So she got into these handcrafted beauty potions. And then she started to do even more research. And she does follow Kurt Schnaubelt. He's a PhD, and he is a well-known aromatherapist in the US. He is somewhat controversial. I'm going to link to him below, but he, as well as Tisserand, are pretty well-known. Robert Tisserand, who's from the UK, in the aromatherapy world. They are fathers or grandfathers of aromatherapy, whatever you want to call it. They have been in the business for decades, and they are pretty well respected. So she also decided to, make this formal, and she has organic gardeners, beekeepers, a few select suppliers that she works with. She talks about fair trade and environmental sustainability and things like that, just everything that is ethical. That I really like. They have also, they're part of the campaign for safe cosmetics. They're cruelty-free. Most of their products are vegan. However, they do, as I mentioned, they work with beekeepers, so they do have honey. And they also have a short shelf life, which is usually, they say 6 months, but they say 3 to 6 months. And the reason for this is with natural products that are not overloaded with synthetic, if you will, or artificial preservatives, they are going to have a shorter shelf life. And this is simply to protect you, to make sure that you're not getting any natural freebies that are growing in your products, such as bacteria, yeast, mold, and fungus. So that is the reason why they have a short shelf life. Another thing that they do is they have started to donate monthly to a company, and I believe it's called Sea Legacy. So they work with protecting the sea and the animals that go along with that. So there's a lot about the company that I like. I like the fact that, it's women owned and operated, that they focus on sustainability, and that she really educates herself about herbs and all of this as well. And so in addition to selling for skincare, she does have another line out there that is for gems and flower essence. And I don't know anything about gems or flower essence other than they are supposed to be taken somewhat like medicine in a dropper bottle, and they're kind of harnessing the power of gems and flowers. And if you're interested in that line that she has, I'm also going to link that below. It's no longer a part of the Earthwise beauty website. They do have their own website. So that is a ton of information about the company. I want to talk about the Tigress balm that I got here. So this is a sample. As I mentioned, I did get this from Aurora Beauty, as you guys can see. They also have some samples of some of their products, in particular their facial care products, on their website. And they are pretty expensive. I looked at their first one, which is a cleanser, and it was almost $25 for 5 milliliters. However, that is still cheaper than purchasing the full size. And you can also check out other websites such as Bella Corre and Aurora Beauty, who also decant products and sell samples that way. So I have used a decent amount of this product, as you guys can see. I'm not sure how many milliliters this is, 2 or 5 milliliters, I don't exactly know. It is a balm, as you guys can see here. It is yellow, and it smells distinctly like butters to me. So I want to talk about some of the ingredients that are in here. I'm not going to cover every single one of the ingredients, of course. Before I get into the ingredients, I want to tell you why it was made, and this was focused on a face balm for acne-prone skin. So you kind of, even though you do have acne and you might suffer from oily skin, you also need to keep your skin hydrated. I did not get that for that purpose. Sorry, I did not get this for that purpose. I got it for my daughter's eczema that she has. So she has dry eczema. She says that it has, it's slow absorbing, it's fast absorbing, and it's not pore clogging. It's also vegan. So that is important, so there's no beeswax in it. The things that they highlight are Akuba butter, and I have a video about Akuba butter, which I'm going to link to below and above. I got mine from Rainforest Chica, and I will be honest, I did not like it. It is a very hard butter that was difficult for me to work with. With that being said, I am very much a beginner when I make my own lotions or potions or what have you, which is basically body butter. That's all I really make. But Akuba butter is known for being good for eczema and psoriasis, and as well as healing acne. They also have kokum butter, which I believe is from Africa. Theirs is from India. They say it's brittle and pale brown, which makes me think that it is unrefined. I do know that 3Kai, and I'm going to link to that below, they sell both refined and unrefined kokum butter. But this is known as being non-comedogenic, so it doesn't clog your pores, and it's rich in vitamin E. Comes from the mangosteen kernels. They also have sapote oil, which is another Latin American product. This is from Guatemala. It's very microbial, and it smells like butter as well as almonds. Babasu oil, which I believe is from Brazil. It's also a light oil that is great for dry skin. Green coffee bean oil, and spikenard essential oil, as well as a lichen extracts and frankincense essential oil. And I'm not exactly sure if the green coffee bean oil is an essential oil or a carrier oil. Because they don't have essential oils in here, it makes me think, or essential oil after the name, it makes me think it's a carrier oil. So, as I mentioned, it does smell just like butters to me, kind of like shea butter or any one of those, mango butter, things like that. So the actual ingredients here, they do have lots of information and lots of ingredients. The first 3 ingredients are ones that I want to concentrate on. They have cold-pressed unrefined kokum butter. Now, with butters and oils, there are different methods of extraction and refinement. So cold-pressed is the lowest amount of heat that's used. So the more heat that you use, the more properties that can be lost from the oils or butters. And after you extract the oil or butter, then you can either refine it or not refine it. Now, some oils and butters, such as castor and almond oil, do have to be refined because they're trying to get the hexane out, which is used in the solvent to actually extract the oil, as well as with animal-based oils such as squalane or emu oil. Those are usually refined, although I know that emu oil can be sold unrefined, and that is just due to safety, due to bacteria and any contaminants that could be in there. But with vegetable oils and butters, you don't have to worry about that. The Akuba oil is their second one, which is also cold pressed and unrefined. And the third one is passion fruit oil. Again, it's cold pressed and unrefined. So the first three ingredients here are good. I like them. They're exotic oils and butters. They're not filler ingredients. I've seen companies that use, sunflower seed oil, grapeseed oil, and I understand there's different types of grapeseed and sunflower oil, coconut oil, and to me, those are just very normal filler ingredients. So I like the fact that they use those. Some other things that they're using are, as I mentioned, babasu and sapota. They also have tamanu in here. So tamanu is also known as foraha. It's usually known as being green. This oil, it can also be kind of like an orangish brown color, and it often has sediment at the bottom, so you have to shake it very well. Now, what tamanu is renowned for is helping with scarring. Of course, it's better with new scars rather than old scars. If you do have an old scar, try using rosehip oil. I've heard that's amazing. But a lot of people like it for that. It can also help with things such as sore throats, and I'm going to actually put a link about tamanu oil so you can read more about that. It does have rosehip oil as well, which is good for scarring, as I mentioned. The coffee bean oil they have, it looks like it's carrier oil. They have vitamin E, they have turmeric extracts, and then they get into some of the essential oils. Now, me personally, when I purchased this, I was all about essential oils. I was gung-ho about essential oils. I thought the more essential oils, the better. Now, I believe that we learn something new every day, and I have come to realize I don't want essential oils in my personal care products. I would actually prefer to have a synthetic or artificial fragrance that was phthalate free rather than having an essential oil. And a few reasons for that is I just believe we are so inundated with scent that we kind of are becoming sensitized to it. And what this means is it's similar to coffee. So when you keep on drinking coffee, you kind of develop a tolerance. Now with essential oils, what can happen is they either stop working or you can develop a reaction. And you might have known somebody who's used a product, for weeks or months on end or even years, and then they start to have a reaction and they say, well, it can't be this product. I've used it for years and nothing's happened. This could be due to sensitization. You're developed this tolerance and then suddenly you have a reaction to the product. And of course, this does depend on how often you are using this product and the dilution rate that you are also using it as. So the essential oils that they are using is frankincense, which is Carteri, and I believe that is from Oman, usually. Spikenard, pine, Heliochrysum, which is also known as Italian everlasting or immortelle. So those are the ones that they use. Now, spikenard is pretty controversial. I would put it up there with sandalwood. So spikenard is on a list of for example, I know AVAT, Appalachian Valley Natural Products Anatolian Treasures, where I get a lot of my essential oils from, especially their samples, will not ship spikenard out of the US because it's on some kind of endangered list. And what that means is people say that it cannot be found sustainably, and you're coming into issues with ethics and sustainability. So I would do your research on spikenard. Of course, you're going to find people who say that theirs is ethical and sustainable. You're also going to find people on the opposite end of the spectrum that say there is no sustainable, ethically sourced spikenard in the world, which is the same thing that they say about sandalwood. As I said, please draw your own conclusions. I don't know that much about it other than there are two sides to the story. They also have the lichen CO2 extract, another sunflower seed oil, and then some emulsifiers in here. Now, some of their ingredients here are certified organic, other ones are responsibly wildcrafted, and some of them actually come from certified sustainable sourced palm oil, and I think that's the RSPO, which is the Roundtable for Sustainable Palm Oil. I'm going to link to that below. And again, just like sandalwood and spikenard, you are going to find people that say there is no sustainable palm oil in the world. Everything is not sustainable and it's not ethical. And then you're going to also find people that say, palm oil is kind of the lesser evil. If we don't use palm oil, we're going to have to use something else like soybean oil. And you also come into the issue with sustainability and ethics. So I don't know. I do know that palm oil seems to be in just about everything. It's very hard to escape from it. So again, please do your own research about that. Everything is all hexane free when it's possible. They also say cruelty free, vegan, and handcrafted in small batches. So that's a lot of information about the ingredients. I also talked about sustainability and ethics. I encourage you guys to do your own research. I want to show you guys what it looks like. So I'm going to take it out and show you guys what it looks like on the back of my hand. You guys can see. So as I said, this is a rather expensive product. So what this costs, if I were to purchase it from her website, I believe it is $110. Yeah, it's $110 for an ounce, which is 30 milliliters. And this is a balm. And I did get it from Aurora Beauty. And I believe this was about $3 or $4, maybe $5, I can't remember, for the little sample of a couple milliliters. I will not be repurchasing this. So here's why I'm not going to be repurchasing it. First thing is, it's very expensive, $110 for me, for eczema that I put on my daughter that I have to chase her around the house in order to get on her, and then I put on her clothes and, you know, gets wiped off on her clothes, is one thing. The other issue that I really have is essential oils. As I mentioned, I am trying to move away from essential oils in my personal care products, but especially with my daughter, with having eczema, I want to use products with as few ingredients as possible. And the reason behind this is if she has a reaction, so she's usually going to have a reaction, whether that's a positive reaction or a negative reaction. Either eczema is going to get better or it's going to get worse. I want to know what is fixing it. You know, I don't want to think that I have to buy the full product. I want to know what ingredients are helping her. And so that I can purchase those ingredients and not use the ingredients that might not be necessary. And the opposite, so if she does have a negative reaction, if I have a product that has, 20 raw ingredients in it, then I kind of have to do a process of elimination and guess and figure out what she's having a reaction to, because I don't want to discount every single one of those ingredients, all 20 of those ingredients, when she's only having a reaction to one, for example. So I've given you guys loads of information about Earthwise Beauty. I do think it is a great company. I do like it, and I've talked about the product itself, but for me personally, it's just not something that I would repurchase due to the cost and the essential oils. So now I want to hear from you guys. Have you ever purchased anything from Earthwise Beauty? If you have, let me know what you purchased and tell me what you think of the product as well as the company. And if you haven't, head on over to their website. They have a lot of information, in the About Me section. They do have information about Ava herself. They talk about the freshness, the certifications they have, sustainability, philanthropy that they do, and just a load of information that I really enjoy. So please leave a comment below. I do enjoy hearing from you guys. Like this video and give it a big thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications to get the latest updates. I will see you guys later.